authorities, classmates, welcome to my presentation. This is special level strategies, a study case concerning two secondary students in EFL. As an introduction, this research is connected with the English proficiency test that education pairs have done from 2011 to 2015 in Chile and in other countries. And our indexes shows that we were jumping from a very low proficiency level to a low proficiency. But this test is assessing not only students but adults. And well, this research tries to cover the school, the school context. Well, as you can see, this is a national issue that I want to explain, and it's done in a school, secondary school with 37 students. But according to that case study, there are 4 people chosen for this work. And well, the research question is: what are the possible effects of using specifically designed worksheets in 2 secondary students of EFL in defined terms of grammar, vocabulary, and reading comprehension? And what I want to reach with that research question is to respond to the need to identify a possible effect of using educational materials to secondary students in 2 months. Because teachers want to reach the leveling to be more proficient in the language. And the secondary objective is to analyze common patterns in acquisition issues that affect EFL learning and to determine any effective resources for material development. And this is my theoretical framework. As you can see, learning efficiency is justified by Munsinger in 1938, and it covers 2 main elements: that's special materials by Ministerio de Educación, proficiency levels by WU. And special materials, we have several key elements such as paralinguistic communication, assigning key, visual resources major, cross-disciplinary nature, definition taken from Jacobson and Robinson. And in the proficiency levels, we have 2 more sub-areas, that's curricular requirements, seen by Ross and Woodshost, and relations with Franklin, Balin, and Kuhn. This research is tied with the school requirements, Colegio Santo Tomás in this case, and the ministry requirements, the Ministerio de Educación. And the relations of variables are going towards quality of the materials and time. The methodological framework that I used is a mixed paradigm. It has an interpretive approach because I want to experiment with a minimal set of students, so I can see which would be the improvements they will have in a 2 months limit. The subjects were, in that case, from a sample of 37 students, 4 of them, which were divided in treatment groups and control groups, where treatment groups will receive special leveling courses using printed educational materials and having constant feedback that insists on the next coming materials. All of this in a 2 months period. Well, according to my research, it's a case study. I want to use mixed research because it has qualitative and quantitative features. In the case of qualitative is for example, the interviews they will have to, the process. The quantitative results taken from the pre-test, post-tests, the weekly challenges that are simple exercise students in the treatment group must complete. And it's part of the research materials. And also we have written feedbacks in the case they want to provide of several suggestions for the next materials. The aside the data analysis techniques are the type mixed. And the considerations of trustworthiness are related with, of course, the confidentiality of the project, the backups we have in all moment. We have information that could be presented if this research is applied. The procedure is as follows. First, I want to use a pretest in the course to determine which of the secondary students will be used for the research. I want to employ a criterion for separation. In that case, there were two. The first one is that they have the lowest marks in that test. And also, it's optional but important if those students come from a previous school. For example, they have bad levels of English and they're coming to this school, the Universidad Santo Tomás, whose requirements, standards are very defined. After that, I want to employ a criterion for separation. I want to have a control group that represents all those 37 students, and I want to have a treatment group that is be used to make a change, to notice which are the improvements in the use of special materials. And I want to have an interview after that separation only with my treatment group. Control group will not know anything about the procedure. Okay? In the fourth step, I want to model worksheets according with their needs, with the meetings we held, and after this, I want to create a print sheets that will be given each week during a 2-month period. And the weekly challenges are assigned within the 2-month period that materials are delivered. That consists in developing, for example, sentences in present perfect, or marking multiple choices, word maps, and everybody else could be used to assess if they are improving their knowledge in English. The measurement of results, it's done from the first moment of the research. For example, in the results of the materials, I forgot to mention that the weekly challenges are given to control group and treatment group, and they're given back to me. And then we have to design the final test that will be used, as in the ZPD theory said. This is an initial state and a final state. How much variation they have in those months. And after the application of the final post-test, after designing it, I want to compare results and elaborate a report using statistical models, taking all the information, the quantitative information, and try to graph it and make quality conclusions that could be used for teachers to step forward in the improvement of EFL. The tentative data analysis are in the pre-test scores, the weekly challenges results, the post-test scores, and a statistical ZPD graph. As I've said, here in the pre-test and the post-test, we can acquire what's talking about quantitative information, quantitative results. In the statistical ZPD graph is dependent of those elements, and the weekly challenge results are evaluated in a duality. They're evaluated quantitatively and qualitatively. Quantitatively using a rubric to compare the results against control group and treatment group, and qualitatively to ensure where the failures of the special leveling materials. The expected outcomes that I have in this research proposal is that at the end of this 2 months period, students the treatment group students show any improvement at the written, receptive, productive level, and to reach equality of conditions with the rest of the course. I want the 37 students are in same conditions of learning. That does mean that everyone has to know a base. They need to have a base, a common base. And well, the conclusions in this case are the process for visual assessment. I want to check what's the how will be the results in the field of visual assessment that's covering 2 of the 4 skills in education, being the oral assessment and the other part. And this is another limitation that we mentioned in the next slide. And results are to be used to anticipate students' weaknesses. This information that teachers should use to make better decisions on creating materials and classes. The limitations of my research is the neglection, because this case study is not applied on the entire course, but 4 of them. And this is what we call neglection. This case study is intentional. We want to check in a minimum scale how many improvements we have. And if feasible, we can do another research now covering every student in the classroom. The second element, that's the oral assessment, is not covered. As in the report done, I told that Brenda Garcia in 2015 in a European school have done research similarly to mine, but only doing oral assessment, but it's in a European context, not a Latin American context. This research is completely Latin American, specifically for the territory of Chile. But it would be better if in the next opportunity we have the chance to do a oral assessment using the same procedures I presented here. And this is some of the references. Thank you.